What's up, and welcome to the DualSense Podcast, a PlayStation news podcast. This is episode 122. 122. My name is Jason. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined, as always, by your other co-host, whose name this evening he's going by Second Lieutenant Richard Tips. Second Lieutenant Richard Tips. I'm probably missing something there. He's otherwise known as Travis. Travis, ¿qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa, Holmes? It's what do you call it? What's a nickname for Richard?
Dick.
Yep.
Second Lieutenant Dick Tips.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, that's good.
Classic.
Good.
Classic.
Why the second lieutenant part?
I just wanted him to be official. Like, he needed to have a title.
He couldn't be like Captain Dick Tips. He had to be second
Well,
lieutenant.
I just figured that a guy named Dick Tips wouldn't be a general or a captain. He only goes so far because of his name. So second lieutenant felt good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what else is going on? Anything?
No, my wife's on a trip in another state, and so there's
Good.
lots of cars in my driveway, which is annoying, but it's fine.
Gotcha. Lots of cars in your driveway?
Yeah, they all carpooled to the airport. So
Wow.
my house is a parking lot, I guess. So I have cars
Wow.
in my driveway, which is really, really awesome.
Wow.
But whatever,
Did you tell them it's $10 a day?
No, but I was gonna see if you could come over and watch me because I get scared at night.
Daddy will hold you. Daddy will make it all better. While I'm sitting here, I'm drinking a cup of coffee, a nice medium roast breakfast blend, per usual. Not iced tonight. This is homemade. Not homemade. It's made at my house. And I put my Hershey's chocolate caramel creamer in there, of course. But I was just telling you that I think maybe I was just telling you that I think my creamer's gone bad because it's leaving an aftertaste. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it. So something's off. Something's not quite right. So it might be time for a new bottle. We'll just have to see. But anyway, Travis, we are a weekly podcast where you and I get together and discuss all things PlayStation, like news, rumors, new games, announcements, and much more. We do it all in under 90 minutes, and we post new episodes on all of the usual podcast services around the world on Mondays at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We also put them on YouTube as well if you prefer to listen there or catch some gameplay videos, which I haven't done anything in a couple of weeks now. That's not good, but I'm going to fix that very soon, which I'll talk about later on. We're also on social media, of course. We are on Twitter. That's our primary feed. We go by at the DualSense Pod. We're also on Instagram, where we share virtual photography from in-game photo modes. We have a Facebook and a blog, which is the DualSensePodcast.wordpress.com. You can get the episodes there, show notes, our bios, and pictures. And Travis, I'm happy to announce that we are now on the TikTok. I caved in and created a TikTok for the podcast, despite my gut feeling telling me not to. I did it anyway, and because they do have some Chinese communist influence, I believe. But anyway, I did it. So we have a TikTok now. We got off to a pretty hot start, and we've petered off a little bit. But that's okay. I think that's just some algorithmic bullshit that TikTok makes you feel good about yourself for a little bit, and then brings you back down to earth. But anyway, find us there if you choose, and we post clips of the show, some quick gameplay videos, like of Travis destroying people on Modern Warfare 2, for instance, me almost crashing into Dakar Desert Rally.
It was a huge fucking rock. I mean, it was a boulder.
Yeah. Also, I posted a picture, or a video, I should say, no pictures. I posted a video of my NBA Jam Utah Jazz throwback t-shirt today. So there's that too. Just random game shit. Anyway. So yeah, find us. We'd love to hear from you and chat PlayStation or games, period. And without further ado, Travis, let's jump into a very interesting week of PlayStation news here, and kind of big, honestly. So here we go. Number one, Sony finally broke the seal this week on when PlayStation VR2 is launching and how much it will cost. The next generation virtual reality headset will launch worldwide on February 22nd, 2023, the year of our Lord, and it will run $550 US, 650 euros, 570 pounds sterling. That's a lot of barrels, Travis, and 79,980 yen. There is also a bundle for $600 US, or your local equivalent, That includes a digital voucher for Horizon Call of the Mountain. Our first PSVR2 accessory was revealed as well, the Sense Controller charging station, which will cost $50 and functions just like the DualSense charging station. Sony also announced that standalone software pre-orders will begin opening up this month on the PlayStation Store. Pre-orders for the headset will open on November 15th, and players can register now on the PlayStation Direct website for a shot at a pre-order. PSVR2 pre orders will initially only be available through the PlayStation Direct website in most countries, with brick and mortar retailers coming online at a later date. Okay, so we finally got the all important details regarding
Mhm.
PlayStation VR2. What do you think?
We've been right about the release date, the release window for a while now.
Hmm.
I think what do we say the price was? I mean, I was way under. I was thinking like $300, but
Yeah, I said it would be the same as the PS5, which it's not, but
right. Well, I don't know. It's technically you could look at it as a system. I mean, in and of itself. I think I'm gonna wait for the PSVR 2 Slim or the Pro version.
oh, Christ.
Not really, but I mean, I don't know. $550 is a lot for me to swallow right now. I mean, it's just I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know why seeing the numbers legitimately made me more hesitant, but it did in a way. Like I just want to
mm,
see what the reviews are first, and I want
that's
to see
fair.
what games I can use it on first, and then, I mean, I'm still like 90% chance I buy it, but I just want to see what I
Mm,
have first, because I mean I've lived without it, so it doesn't feel like an essential to me, but it feels like a
sure.
really
That's,
really awesome addition, right? So other than that, though, like I think this is gonna be hard to get. I think
mm,
if you don't try to jump in early on the pre-orders, you're gonna be kinda shut of luck, and I don't know when we'll see them in a real store. I mean, it took the console a year and a half to really be populated in a way where you could walk in and see one, so, I mean, we might be
hmm
looking at the same thing with this. I just feel like, they started making them in September, they're taking pre-orders 2 months later. I don't know, man. I think there's gonna be a little bit of a pinch point, at least, on supply.
mm. That's interesting because the sentiment online this week after the announcement seemed to me to be that people thought that this was too pricey, which you do agree with that. I think it sounds like, but you also think that it's going to be scarce at the start. And I saw a lot of people comment on how that they didn't think that at $550 that this could have mass market appeal. You know,
Fair.
it would only appeal to the most hardcore PlayStation fans, which very well may be true. I think time will tell the tell on that. But at the same time, I'm kind of two minds about it. I understand people's issue with it being $550, $50 more than the PlayStation 5 in the United States, by the way, which does surprise me.
Mhm.
However, I think the writing has been on the wall, considering the fact that they raised the price of the PlayStation 5 everywhere else in the world but here, considering the fact that one of their competitors, I think it was Meta with the Quest, raised the price of their headset by $100. So I think that gave Sony some runway, at least in their mind, to charge us this price. So there's also been some comparison this week in terms of this headset to the original. The original, in order to get like the headset, a set of Move controllers, the PlayStation camera, and a game, was about this price when the original launched. I think it was in 2016, maybe earlier than that, but I think 2016 stands out. So in terms of dollars to donuts, that launch period to this launch period, the price is similar. So I kind of see both sides of the coin. On the other hand, I do think that it's one of these vocal minority, silent majority situations where, yes, I understand the argument over price, but I think there's a lot of people like me who are very excited about this, who are going to pre order, who are going to pick this up, to your point, and is going to make it scarce, at least initially, I think, or at least during the pre order phase, at worst,
Mhm.
or at best, I should say. So, I think everything we've seen so far of it, I don't know why I'm so excited about this. Like, I've never used VR in my life.
Mhm.
I could get it on and use it for a day and throw up everywhere in my house and then have to
Mhm.
sell it. I have no idea. But I'm very excited. There's a couple of things this year or in the next 6 months that I'm extremely excited about for really no good reason. One is this, the other is Need for Speed Unbound, which I'm going to talk about later. And so I'm in. I've already registered to pre-order on November the 15th. I don't see why that I wouldn't get an opportunity to, but they said it's not guaranteed, of course. So
Mhm.
we'll see. All in for $650, that's a little steep. I get that, but I think I'm going to do it, you know, against my better judgment. I'm just going to go for it. I'm feeling good. The other thing I did want to point out is that initially I was thinking, you know what, I want to play Call of the Mountain. I'll just get the bundle. But then the more I thought about it, and this is a little bit of a PSA, perhaps, I'm not certain that buying things off the PlayStation Direct store gives you credit or reward points for the PlayStation Stars program. So if you really want Call of the Mountain, I think it might be the safer bet to just buy the headset alone, since you're getting a digital voucher anyway in the bundle,
Right.
and then just buy the game on PlayStation Store so you can get credit for the $50 that you spend on Call of the Mountain. Unless Call of the Mountain is $70 and you're basically saving $20 by getting the bundle. So if that's the case, which we're going to find out very soon, they said they're going to make the games available for pre-order, hopefully before the headset itself. So
Mhm.
there could be some fuckery there too. So that's to be determined.
Yeah. I mean, either way you look at it, though, it is like a steep price, I think, but it's still cheaper
Hmm.
than like when you got your wife, and this will not drive you as crazy. So, you know, here
Yeah.
or there.
Yeah. And if my wife leaves me, I can just put my headset on and, just escape from the world.
Right. You can get a new one on Sims 8.
Number two, the PlayStation VR2 train kept on rolling, Travis, as Sony also revealed simultaneously that 11 more titles are coming to the headset after launch. Two titles are new, while others are ports from other VR headsets currently on the market. The first title is The Dark Pictures Switchback VR from Supermassive Games. It's an on rails action horror shooter that's set in the Dark Pictures universe. First person shooter Crossfire Sierra Squad from Smilegate, where players play as the leader of an elite fire team in the midst of a top secret war. It includes over 60 campaign missions, 39 weapons, and 17 types of enemies. It can be played solo or in co op with up to 3 friends. Also announced was The Light Brigade from Funktronic Labs. It's a single player roguelike shooter with a mystery at its core. It will be a cross buy title between PSVR 2 and the original PSVR. City Skylines VR Enhanced Edition is coming from Fast Travel Games and is an adaptation of the popular city builder for PSVR 2. It is launching alongside the headset on February 22nd. God, I'm so fucking in. Cosmonious High is an alien adventure game from Alchemy Labs, the creators of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator, and it will take full advantage of all the headset's features, including eye tracking and haptic feedback. Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue from Tiny Build Games is an all new VR title set in the Hello Neighbor world, coming to both PSVR 2 and the original PSVR. It will be a cross buy title as well. Players will solve puzzles, uncover mysteries, and try to make it out of the neighbor's house in one piece. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection is a survival adventure game coming from developer Coates Inc. It will include both parts of the original game and has been reworked to support PSVR 2 features like headset rumble and 4K at 90 frames per second. It will also include a dino viewer feature so that you can get up close and personal to your favorite dinosaurs. Pistol Whip VR is a physical fitness action rhythm shooter making its way to PSVR 2 from Cloudhead Games. Think John Wick meets Beat Saber here. Players who currently own the PSVR version will get a free upgrade on PSVR 2. Zenith, The Last City is an open world action adventure game launching alongside the PSVR 2 on February 22nd. It will be a free upgrade for current owners on PSVR and features faster loading times, major graphical updates, hundreds of hours of new content, and support for the Sense controllers. After the Fall is a post apocalyptic co op zombie shooter from Vertigo Games. Play solo or with up to 3 friends as you take on hordes of mutants and giant bosses. The game has been updated to support PSVR 2, including haptics and headset rumble. It will feature full cross platform multiplayer and also includes all of the post launch content that Vertigo has put out since its original launch in December of 2021. Tentacular is a physics based adventure game from Fire Punch Games UG, where players assume the role of a giant, good hearted, tentacled creature trying to figure out its place in the world. This updated version of the game supports eye tracking, adaptive triggers, and headset rumble. All right, Travis. So 11 new PSVR2 games announced to be coming, some at launch. Some are new, most are not. They're coming from other headsets, but anything on this list stand out to you?
Really, really too. I think pistol whip VR could be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I mean, let me add a third one really quick though. I think that the Zenith Last City has potential to be a lot of fun. I could see how people could get sucked into that
Hmm.
really long time. I'm just not sure it's for me per se, but it could be really, really cool. The game that I think will be the most interesting is I want to see what Cities VR is because that just seems like it's perfect. Like
Fuck yeah.
it could be completely out of bounds. I need to see footage. Like I want to see what it looks like because in my head you're kind of like you can kind of zoom around like like you're floating basically like a vampire or something. So it'd be kind of cool.
Hmm. So several of these games look very cool to me. And I think this is part of my excitement for PSVR2. And I understand that a lot of these, the majority of these are ports from other headsets, but you've got to understand that I don't pay attention to the VR scene. So these, to me, these are pretty much all new with the exception of a couple. So the ones that stood out to me were Crossfire Sierra Squad. I sent you guys a
Right.
gameplay video of that. I think that actually looks pretty cool.
Hmm. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, and I think that might be like 16 on 16 in multiplayer. I could be totally making that up, but there's multiplayer. So thought that one looked really cool. It looked good. The in terms of like the animation and everything and the reloading and all that, it looked very cool. Cities VR, fucking like I said, it's stoked for that. I loved that game on PS4. That game sucked me in big time. I would play that shit till like 3 and 4 in the morning and not even realize it. So definitely excited for that in VR. Don't really know what that plays like, but I feel like I imagine like I'm like walking around my city, like I'm just a giant, and I'm like putting shit down. Like I don't know. That's in my
Yeah.
head. That's what I
Yeah,
figured.
like you're like completely it's completely autonomous, but you don't affect it. Like you can't crush it like Rampage basically.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So that sounds awesome. I don't know if that's how it actually plays, but I'm excited nonetheless. Pistol Whip VR, like you said, I think that one sounds really cool. I think that one's pretty well regarded in general on VR. So I'll definitely check that out. And then I do agree that Zenith: The Last City sounds kind of cool, like an open world action game. So I'm curious about that. I thought that was like an MMO when I first looked at it, but I'm not so sure about that. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that one as well. I might be interested in the Jurassic World one. I'm not totally sure, but I feel like that's one of those that would make me poop my pants, and I don't know if I'm here for that yet. So I'm very excited. A lot of good ones here, I think, coming. And this is there. I think there was what 2 or 3 in this bunch that said they were going to be there at launch, and Sony said there's going to be at least 20 launch games. So we know about Horizon. There's another one coming up later in the news that we're going to mention. So we know about 5 or 6 of the PSVR2 launch games, maybe a couple more. So we still have the majority of the launch games that we don't know about per se. That's exciting. Number 3, Sony published their second quarter financial results this week, and from it, we gleaned a number of items of interest. For starters, PlayStation Plus subscribers have dropped by nearly 2 million since the service was revamped in June. PlayStation Plus numbers have dipped now for 3 consecutive quarters, which Sony blamed on declining third party game sales and PS4 sales, as well as, quote, more people going outdoors, end quote. They issued a statement after the fact, further adding that the dip in PlayStation Plus subscribers was largely to blame on PS4 users becoming less engaged with the platform, which Sony did not properly account for. Their PS Plus revenue, however, was actually up 10%, meaning they are getting more money out of less PlayStation Plus subscribers. Chief Financial Officer Hiroki Totoki added that PS5 users are the reason for this, saying, quote, on the other hand, the ratio of PS Plus subscribers among PlayStation 5 users remains at a level significantly higher than that of PS4. We are putting even more effort into accelerating the penetration of PS5 hardware to recover this user engagement going forward, end quote. Speaking of PS5 penetration, Travis,
Mhm.
Sony has now shipped 25 million units of the console, including 3.3 million units in the second quarter. In total, for the fiscal year, Sony has sold 5.7 million PS5s, which is still far short of their target of 18 million, which they said will not be adjusted. They also said that they forecast, shipping 23 million PS5s during the next fiscal year, which begins April 1st. PlayStation revenue was up 12% compared to the second quarter last year, but profits were down a whopping 49% year over year, which Sony said was due to an increase in game development and acquisition costs, including the $3 billion they spent on Bungie, as well as the negative impact of foreign exchange rates reflecting a high ratio of US dollar costs. PlayStation did lower their overall revenue forecast for the year by 12%, citing lower than expected sales of third party games. All right, so I know that's some diarrhea of the mouth there, but there's some interesting things in there. Is anything jump out at you?
I mean, well, the first section, the only thing important is that the revenue is up from PlayStation Plus. It doesn't really matter that the subscribers are down. Like when you change the format and add it in the tier program with different levels of payment, I think that's you're expecting to make more money, and you're expecting for there to be
Mm-hmm.
some attrition. And in a way, you're kind of weeding out kind of dead accounts in a way, which maybe
Yeah.
maybe is part of their plan because, I mean, how do you market to a dead account? Like you don't. So that
Yeah.
kind of helps with that, right? Maybe people saw that it was changing and they remembered, oh, I haven't. It's just been taking money out of my account. I need to fix that because I don't want to pay that. So, but the revenue number there is the most important. And then just a side note, if people are becoming disinterested in the PS4 platform, why are we still making games for it? But whatever. Anyway, what
Bingo.
do I know?
Yeah. Thank you.
The funny part to me was they were talking about like the PS5. This generation has the most user engagement, right? As in people playing the console that are actually active, and then people using the Plus subscription. It's like you kind of have to have that to play the PS5. So that's not really if you want to play the PS5 the way it's made, you kind of need that. So that's not really it's kind of past the point to me. Yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
you can't expect the profits to be up when you do something like buy Bungie, right? I mean,
Mm.
what do you expect? Of course, you're gonna have a down
Mm-hmm.
year, but you hope like they need to recruit that in the future, so you kind of hope it comes back. But yeah, I'm not really surprised by that part there. And to their point of not changing their target for selling 18 million units this year, I think that they believe they're going to kill it in the next 2 months with holiday sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people have been waiting, as to give them out as Christmas gifts or whatever. So I think they'll absolutely kill it then.
Yeah. I think their confidence in getting still to that 18 million number has to do with the fact that obviously supply is increasing. We've been seeing, the supply of the consoles, the ability to get one has gotten easier. I mean, not every day, but multiple times a week. There's PlayStation Direct sales going up. There's bundles going up. So it's getting easier to get one. I've even seen pictures lately of them people finding them in stores. So that's the first time I've ever seen pictures of them actually on store shelves. So that's a good sign as well. And we know that they kind of changed the internals to combat some of the supply chain issues. So I think that they are going to end the fiscal year, which ends at the end of March, on a pretty big bang here from a system standpoint. Also, it's funny that they say that their revenue is down because of more people going outdoors. That just makes me laugh. I
hmm
mean, at the same time, I understand what they're trying to say. It's what we've talked about on the show before, that people are going back to spending their money on other experiences. People are going back to concerts. They're going back to sporting events. They're taking trips again, etc. I mean, for better or worse, that eats into your disposable income that you're going to spend on PlayStation games or subscriptions or whatever. So there is some truth to that. I understand what they're saying there. The other thing that stood out to me is that, like you said, their PlayStation Plus revenue is actually up 10% despite their subscribers being down 2 million. And I think that might have something to do with people upgrading their subscription now that we have these new tiers. So they're making more money off people who have upgraded despite the overall number of users dropping. So people that went from like the essential tier to extra or premium, etc., I think is probably to blame for that 10% increase in revenue there still. The profits being down 49%, that's a big one. That's that's a lot of money. But like you said, and like I mentioned there in the write up, they've been busy acquiring people. including Bungie for over $3 billion and others as well. And they haven't, disclosed how much money they pay for teams like, Fire Sprite or Haven or anything like that. Nowhere near 3 billion, obviously, but
Mm.
we still don't know. Not to mention, we've talked about on the show, games are getting more expensive to make, and we're demanding them to make a, 70, 80, 90, 100 million plus dollar game every time. The Last of Us, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, etc. So it's not cheap. So there's that as well. So yeah, just some interesting numbers overall. PlayStation remains healthy. Some bumps in the road here, but nothing really to get too excited about or torn up over. I don't understand how they did not account for PS4 users becoming less engaged on a console that's been out for a decade, that has been replaced for almost 3 years now. I don't understand that, but I digress. Number 4, it was a busy week for God of War Ragnarok as PlayStation released a new television spot featuring Ben Stiller, John Travolta, and LeBron James and their children. They also put out a deep dive development diary on character and creature creation if you're interested, and we learned that the game will feature a transmog armor system. Sony Santa Monica Studio also announced the game's graphical modes this week. On PS5, there will be a favor quality and favor performance option, which can be further tweaked for those with HDMI 2.1 televisions. The PS4 Pro will have both performance and quality modes as well, and the base PS4 will have just one standard graphical mode, which is 1080p, trying to hit 30 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably explode your
Yeah,
PS4.
like me trying to make the NBA.
And finally, Sony announced that the 2018 game has sold 23 million copies to date, and reviews for the sequel went live this week as well, with Ragnarok currently sitting at a 94 on Metacritic, with 121 critic reviews recorded.
Is 94 good, or is that not good?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. I think I said that I thought it would be like an 86,
Right.
so fuck me,
Well,
right?
you just don't see games that high. I mean, there's a handful, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of it's
Yeah.
always surprising when you see them, even if you think a game's going to do really well. It's always surprising to me to see a game in the 90s, no matter what, even if I think it's going to be
Mhm.
great. So the 94 definitely surprised me. Like you had talked about somewhere in the 80s. I thought, I don't know, I just thought maybe it could get to 90, maybe, but it's fucking
Mhm.
insane, like how well received it is right now. And I sent you a video clip of some guys playing. It was like a little reel of a guy playing, and like the fucking combat is wild. Like it looks so fluid
Yeah.
and fast, and like it looked almost overwhelming. But so does Ghost of Tsushima when you don't know what's happening. Like you're like, Jesus, you're blocking,
Mhm.
and it's wild, right? But then you could see why it kind of drags people in. Like I don't know. We talked about this the other day, but it seems primed to make a run at Game of the Year. I think that
Mm.
Sony will definitely make a Game of the Year edition in a few years. But
Jesus. They'll remaster it for PS5
yeah,
Pro.
I don't know. It just seems like you have to play it. It just seems like you cannot not play the game. Is kind of what it stands at. And
Oh,
the television spot. I don't know why we needed celebrities, but that's fine. But okay.
yeah. They spent some money on that one. They're getting behind this game,
Mhm.
and it's obviously it's obvious that they knew what they had on their hands, right?
Right.
Like you said, it seems like a must play, which I think we need to hold you accountable here because you still haven't played the first game, which there's no fucking excuse for because the 2018 game is included in PlayStation Plus, and like I keep telling you, as someone who likes Ghost of Tsushima as much as you do, you would really enjoy God of War. It's not scary. It's just awesome combat. It's epic, like Ghost of Tsushima. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know
It's
what I got to do to get you to
120
try the
hours.
game. What? God, the first God of War is like 20 hours.
Yeah, and the second one,
Is 30 or 40.
and then this one,
No, this is only the second
it's
one.
100 hours.
This is only the second one. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? There's like 4 God of Wars, isn't there?
No, I'm talking not the old ones. I'm talking about the reboot, the one that you play the one that came out in 2018,
Mhm.
and then yeah, just these two.
The one where he has a child. I hate children, first of all.
God, give it an hour. Download God of War 2018. Give it 1 hour, 60 minutes. and
1 hour, 60 minutes.
give it
Is there a
1 hour.
tutorial?
Give it 1 hour, aka 60 minutes. There's no tutorial.
Good.
Just
Oh,
just
god.
just play it. Fuck. I'm
Alright,
so
man.
tired of this
Cool.
shit.
God, I have to beat Hitman for the second time, and then I still need to platinum Call of Duty.
Oh, this. Do you guys see what I have to deal with? I'm trying. I'm trying to make him not a filthy casual, just slightly. I mean, he's. All right. Anyway, so the advertisement, the television advertisement, I watched it the whole way. At first, I was like, this is, I saw what was going on
Cringy.
in the thumbnail, and I was like, what the fuck? Wait, yeah, cringy. What are we doing here? I watched it through its entirety, and smartly, they let Ben Stiller carry it, and in his way, he made it quite funny. He took a shot at LeBron, he took a shot at John Travolta, and it was good. It was a good little bit. So, LeBron, whatever. But I enjoyed it. It was a good little ad, and I've seen it. I watched that on the YouTube, and I've seen it since then on television. And someone else, one of our friends, reported that they saw it on television too, probably during a sporting event. So, PlayStation's really getting behind this, spending the big bucks. Like I said, they obviously knew what they had on their hands, which is a quite exceptional game. Obviously, I'm very excited to play this game. I did not expect it to be this good, and it's obviously quite good. And like you said, I think it's going to challenge Elden Ring for Game of the Year. It's going to be close, going to be close. So I think it's going to come down to people that pick these things. Are they more tuned into gameplay, or are they more tuned into narrative? Because I think there's no question God of War Ragnarok will have the better narrative. I don't even know if Elden Ring really has one per se, other than like a passive narrative. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but I am very much looking forward to playing it on Wednesday. All right, Travis, number 5, we have a bunch of news nuggets as well. Feel free to jump in here. First nugget: as British regulators enter their phase 2 investigation of the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal, and the European Union is also going to enter a phase 2 investigation, they announced this week. Phil Spencer from Xbox has made a big promise this week while giving an interview to YouTuber Same Brain. Spencer claimed that as long as there is a PlayStation console in stores, Call of Duty will be on it. Wow. Those are big words.
I don't believe him, but, like, who are these fucking random people? Same brain. It, like,
Never heard of them.
the level it makes me angry when they talk to random fucking people. I don't understand. Like, if they talk to us, it'd be fucking random. Like, why? Why
Yeah.
not talk to people that I don't know, whatever.
No, you're right. It's like the one Herman Hulst gave a couple weeks ago to somebody named Julien Chiese. Never heard of him.
Yeah, they wanna say these things to people that casual gamers will never hear is what it seems like.
I see. Sure. That's I don't know about that one, Phil. I think I think you're gonna want that one back in the holster at some point.
Back in the Herman holster.
Back in the That's good. Also, HBO, the home box office, announced that their television adaptation of The Last of Us will premiere on January 15th, Travis, and I am muy excitante. Something. I'm very excited. You speak more Spanish than me, so I'm very excited. Also, I think this feeds into the speculation that I've been feeding on the show that we very well could get The Last of Us multiplayer game early next year, around the time the show comes out.
Mhm.
Hope
I
so.
would assume after.
Yeah, I would think. Honestly, I think March. I do think March. I think
Like, at the tail end of
yes. I
season
think
1.
at I think at the tail end of the show, like once they get people that don't know what this is bought in, after they get VR out, then they're gonna go. They're just gonna go bam, like Emerald. And it's like, oh hey, here's The Last of Us, and people are like, ooh, I just watched that bomb ass show on HBO. What is this game? And then they're gonna play. Then they're like, then it's gonna be like, oh, it's The Last of Us, and it doesn't cost you a fucking dime to play it because it's free to play. And people are gonna be like, oh, what's this free Last of Us game about this bomb ass television show I just watched on HBO? I think it's actually quite brilliant when you think about it, and I hope that I'm right. I feel in my balls that this will be right.
You just called your tinfoil hat theory brilliant.
That's
That
what we
was
do.
good. That was good.
Next nugget. Need for Speed Unbound shared details of how it will take advantage of the PS5 this week, including 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, haptic feedback, adaptive trigger support, 3D audio, and a deeper car simulation for more in-depth handling for a more in-depth handling model. And they also talked about having a dense world. Like they're going to have a bunch of NPCs walking around and driving
That are
around. So
stupid, that are really
yeah,
dense.
probably yeah, very dense. It's both dense and dense. And
Mhm,
like I said, I'm more excited about this than anyone should be. I don't know why. It looks super cool to me, and
mhm.
I'm looking forward to it.
The art style's cool. I mean, the thing about Need for Speed is that, I appreciate them doing a deeper car simulation, but it'll always be an arcade racer. Like, best case scenario, it'll be arcade-ish, you know what I mean? But that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything else.
All right, next nugget. Website Video Games Chronicle reported that Hideo Kojima has revealed another actor taking part in his next game. This time it is Shiori Katsuna, most known for her role as Yukio in Deadpool 2. Sega's long lost erotic FMV
Mhm.
thriller. Do you know what that is, Travis? The Sacred Pools, which was supposed to release in 1997 but was canceled, has been discovered and its prototypes released for PC, Saturn, and PlayStation, which may have been the first instance of Sega developing a game for a PlayStation console, which at time would have been one of its main rivals. Watching a little porn on the PlayStation.
Their first developed game is a live action porno.
Yeah, the first one they tried
Why?
to make for PlayStation.
What what are they
Didn't
doing?
I don't know. I thought that is so odd to me too. Didn't make it though, obviously.
I can't, yeah, it never came.
Yeah. Neither did we. Also, PlayStation's PC release of Sackboy, whoa, a big adventure, is not
Mhm.
off to a good start with a peak concurrent player count of only 610 since releasing on Steam on October the 27th. This is off the heels of Uncharted and Legacy of Thieves collection, peaking at 10,851 concurrent players the week before. So PC players are not really feeling the last two PC releases from PlayStation. And I think, this is just me, I think that should offer a little word of warning, heed a little caution for PlayStation on their PC games. Like it's fine to bring them over. That's perfectly fine. But just don't expect everyone to hit. You know what I'm saying? Like if Uncharted doesn't hit, I'm just I'm just saying. Like
Mhm.
it's just odd. So
It seems like they've been throwing stuff over, like everything will hit, but Sackboy feels like a game for weebs.
I feel like that they're taking this like noodle against the wall approach too. Like they're doing it with PC games. They're obviously going to do it with the live service games with 12 coming.
Mhm.
And they're doing
And
it, I
VR.
think, they're doing it with VR. They're doing it with film and television. Like we've talked about there, a Gran Turismo movie, a oh my god, a Gravity Rush movie or whatever. Like some of this stuff, they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. I mean, that's a bold strategy. We'll see if it works out for them. Next nugget, veteran Resident Evil producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi. Like Kobayashi is leading a new game studio called GP Track 50. Okay, for Chinese company NetEase. Netflix has acquired Cozy Grove developer Spry Fox, a Seattle based studio, which becomes the streaming giant's sixth internal game studio as they continue to get serious. Multiversus finally got its Black Adam and arcade mode update this week after a delay from last week. Retailers began selling God of War Ragnarok early this week, much to the chagrin of creative director Cory Barlog, who warned players of spoilers in the wild and said it was, quote, completely fucking stupid that you have to do this, end quote, meaning deal with spoilers. Actor Henry Cavill will step down from Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher after the upcoming third season, which is launching next summer. He will be replaced for season 4 by Liam Hemsworth, known for his role in The Hunger Games and also as Chris's brother. God,
Nice.
this is going to go downhill so fucking fast. EA announced that FIFA 23 is enjoying a 10% bump in sales compared to last year's title. This comes following the game hitting 10 million players in its first 7 days on the market. Sega announced that Football Manager 23 has been delayed at the last minute, quote, due to unforeseen complications which have arisen during the submissions and approvals process, end quote. I should have mentioned that it's only being delayed on PS5, by the way. The title was scheduled for launch on November the 8th. Trademarks for Suda 51 and Swery 65s. Those are upcoming horror game were discovered this week. Applications for Hotel Barcelona and Death Game Hotel were found in international trademark databases. Build a Rocket Boy, the studio led by former GTA producer Leslie Benzies, announced that it is opening a new office in Montpellier, France, to assist on development of their first game called Everywhere, which is scheduled to release next year. Square Enix announced a new franchise called Symbiogenesis, which
Hate
is
it.
being built around NFTs. Just last week, Travis fans were speculating that it was related to the Parasite Eve franchise. That's not the case. The next Witcher saga of games has gained its leader. CD Projekt Red announced that Sebastian Kalimba will lead the next era of Witcher games. He was previously the head of animation for the entire company. A new Modern Warfare 2 update has fixed various map exploits and bugs. Developer Infinity Ward also announced this week that ranked play will be coming to the game in 2023 for all the sweats out there. It will include competitive modes, ranked skill divisions, a top 250 leaderboard, and competitive rewards.
Good. So I'll be good at this game again in 2023.
PS1 game Siphon Filter 3 has been rated in Korea, meaning that it is heading to PS Plus Premium very soon. On the flip side, several games are leaving the extra and premium tiers on November the 15th, very quietly, I might add. The entire Mafia trilogy is gone, as is Ride 4, Motocross or MXGP 2021, and Greedfall. But on the flip side of the flip side, PlayStation Plus Premium is also adding 5 Ratchet and Clank games this month as the franchise celebrates its 20-year anniversary this year. Joining the service on November 15th are Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, and Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Also, Hideo Kojima addressed the abandoned and Blue Box Studios debacle on the latest episode of his podcast this week. He reiterated that he never had anything to do with the project. Blue Box Game Studios later issued a statement that they were thankful for him addressing the rumors and asked fans to quit harassing Kojima and his studio. Hideo also stated on the podcast that his studio is absolutely not for sale, saying, quote, "As long as I'm alive, I won't accept," end quote, referring to offers that he receives periodically. Current PS5 exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo is listed for Xbox on the wall of Bethesda's London office, meaning it is obviously coming to Xbox in the future, which shouldn't be any surprise. I don't even know why this was news this week. Like,
already knew.
I mean, we've known that. I mean, come on. Anyway, A Plague Tale Requiem hit 1 million players in just 1 week on the market this week.
Awesome.
Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reported that Swedish conglomerate Embracer Group has closed down Studio Onoma, the recently acquired developer formerly known as Square Enix Montreal. Schreier also reported that Eidos Montreal, another one of the studios recently acquired by Embracer from Square Enix, is developing 3 new games: a new IP, which was recently rescoped, a new Deus, which means they started over, a new Deus Ex game that is very early in development, and they are also co-developing the Fable reboot for Xbox. So that's quite interesting. I don't know why you would buy a studio and a few months later shut them down, literally 3 weeks after they just changed their name. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Elon Musk feels like he might do that with Twitter.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Next nugget, website Gaming Nexus. How about those guys? Reported that Electronic Arts and Marvel have signed a deal for 3 new action-adventure games on consoles and PC, the first of which is the previously announced Iron Man game. There are also reports earlier this year that EA is making a single-player Black Panther game. That could be the second one. Sony Pictures Virtual Reality announced that 4-player co-op VR adventure game Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord will come to PSVR2 sometime in 2023. Modern Warfare 2 had a record-breaking launch, earning $800 million in revenue in one weekend, setting the new franchise record, which was previously held by 2011's Modern Warfare 3. Also, weapon attachment tuning returned to the game this week. Big week for Modern Warfare 2.
On mine, you just wrote $800.
I know, mine too. I fixed it in my head. My head auto-corrected.
What is attachment tuning?
So when you max out a gun
Right.
on the Modern Warfare 2, you then gain the ability to tune your attachments. So for instance, let's say you have a foregrip and it increases your hip fire accuracy. You can, but decreases your aim down sight speed. you have the ability once you reach max level with a gun to tune that, so you can lower the increase on hip fire accuracy, but then turn back up the aim down sight speed.
Oh,
So
okay. What's max
yeah,
level?
20 maybe.
I'm totally on the way.
Sure.
Okay.
Also, I thought everybody hated this game, but then it just sold the best out of any modern Call of Duty game ever. I don't know. Okay,
Silent majority.
there you go. Next nugget, the World Cup is being added to FIFA 23 on November the 9th. You'll be able to partake in the event as is or edit it to your heart's desire. Upcoming slasher looter action game Wanted Dead released a new 30-minute gameplay video this week, and it looks fucking incredible. You want to talk about John Wick? That's the game. Destroy All Humans Clone Carnage, the multiplayer mode DLC for the remade game, is now available essentially for free, costing a mere $1 on the PlayStation Store. I actually think it's 2 cents. So you have to, I don't know why you have to pay 2 cents instead of just giving it to us for free, but whatever. Also, website gamesindustry.biz reported that live service games make up nearly 3/4 of Electronic Arts' business model. We wonder why PlayStation's doing what they're doing. A group of former Niantic staff members have formed a new development studio called Bodeville. I don't know. They will create narrative games and short form indie experiences. Chinese company NetEase has purchased a minority stake in Swedish indie developer Liquid Swords, which is led by Christopher Sundberg, the former founder of Avalanche Studios and director of the first Just Cause game. Also, website Push Square reported that Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song's promised PS4 to PS5 upgrade was actually a mistake, according to publisher Nacon, despite the game's physical box claiming so. That's a new one.
That's a big mistake.
Also, how can they not get sued for that? It says it on the box, but it's not true.
Maybe you just fire your whole marketing staff and that takes care of false advertisement.
True. Next nugget. The Last of Us is getting a board game from the makers of Escape the Dark Castle. Yeah, a Kickstarter is launching for the game on November the 8th. Soccer stars Pogba, Neymar, and Messi really are coming to Modern Warfare 2 as playable operators, it was confirmed this week, although no release date was given.
I know you hate this, but if
I do.
If there was just okay, so you know how much we loved the mode where you could be lamps and stuff.
True. Oh yeah. Oh god, I hope they bring that.
It's like if there was
Prop hunt.
what is it called? I don't remember what it was called.
Prop hunt.
Yes. So if they had a mode where you could just customize your character to look like anything, and by anything I mean like how you can customize on PC, and you would have like Big Birds running around shooting at John Wicks, like it could be funny in a way, it could be interesting in a way, but I don't know.
That's fair.
It seems a little. I mean, everything at this point just seems like a money grab, but it's just it feels like too much.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Square Enix plans to announce the release date of Final Fantasy 16 later this year, which I find interesting. I wonder if that'll be at a showcase or potentially the Game Awards. The Game Awards seems most likely. PSVR2 got another launch game confirmed later in the week, as Swordsman VR will get upgraded for the new headset in time for launch. A new samurai-inspired armor set dropped in Assassin's Creed Valhalla this week, and has fans wondering if it is an early nod to the previously announced Japanese set Assassin's Creed Red.
Yes.
Yes. It also looked just like Ghost of Tsushima. So, anyway. Also, website PlayStation Lifestyle reported that Square Enix stated during its recent financial report that the Japanese market alone does not provide enough revenue to sustain them. This follows the company selling 3 of its main Western studios responsible for the majority of their franchises, which had said global appeal. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Their games alone can't sustain them, but then let's sell the studios that make games that have global appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, an alleged copyright application filed by Insomniac Games has created speculation that Fuse will make a return. If you don't know, Fuse is a 2013 released third-person cooperative shooter for PS3 that was developed by Insomniac and published by EA. It was considered both a critical and commercial flop.
You can't rescue it. I know the IP is tainted. It's like having a number 1 pick who doesn't play like LeBron. He might be J.R. Smith or like a mid-level bench guy, but he'll never be seen even as that good.
I would much rather them bring Resistance back. Like, let's remaster the Resistance trilogy. Let's bring that shit back. That's Insomniac, right? Yeah, they do. That's Insomniac, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, let's bring those back. Fuck Fuse, man. Forget Fuse. Let's Next nugget. Screenshots of Hideo Kojima's Overdose game featuring actress Margaret Qualley have leaked online this week. As a matter of fact, a 2.5-minute trailer leaked online this week. They were corroborated, both pictures and the video, by insider Tom Henderson. And while the game is believed to be an Xbox exclusive, that has not yet been confirmed. So we'll keep on reporting it.
I thought Demi Lovato would star in that game.
Oh, that's good. Is that too soon? I don't know.
I don't know. She's not dead. It's fine.
Yeah, true. Also, website PlayStation Universe reported that the following games received update patches this week: F122, Multiversus, Smite, Rocket League, Genshin Impact, Marvel's Avengers, Fortnite, Terraria, Disney Dreamlight Valley, DayZ, Modern Warfare 2, Gotham Knights, Minecraft, and Warframe. So if you've been waiting for some fixes or new content, check that out. I will say, while I was playing the last 2 missions of Modern Warfare 2 the other night, the update started in the middle of the fucking game. And then when it was done and ready to install, it told me I had to restart it. I'm like, bro, I'm playing the fucking game. Like, I'm in the middle of something here. Then it updates and doesn't fix the problem. Like, it
crashed immediately.
Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute. But I had one hell of a time trying to play Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, next nugget. Film production company Lionsgate, here we fucking go, Travis, is fielding proposals for a new AAA quality John Wick game. Please. There's so many studios that could do a good John Wick game. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, just fucking rampage. It'd be awesome.
Whew, need it. Rockstar Games insider Tez 2. You know who? Like, let me back up. You know who would make a good John Wick game? Is
Sucker
Remedy.
Punch.
Remedy, the people who did Max Payne and Control. I think they would make, but they've got too much on their plate. They can't possibly do it. But man. Okay, sorry. Next nugget, Rockstar Games insider Tez 2 believes that the company will reveal a GTA 6 update soon in a community update post.
What, that we're working on it?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, don't tell me that. I don't want an update until you're going to give me dates or videos or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least 2 years away. Like, just shut the fuck up. We don't care. Also, Electronic Arts has filed a patent that hints at automatically changing control schemes based on player skill. That's something else.
I don't like that.
I hate that.
Now stuck in 2 different schemes.
Yeah, it's just going to change it on the fly. Oh, we've moved shoot to square for you. Like, no. Please, kindly take a step back and fuck your own face. Data miners have discovered potential Elden Ring DLC that includes a PvP arena and new bosses. For all you nerds out there, classic 1997 puzzle game Ribbon, the sequel to Myst, which I've heard of for some odd reason, is getting a full remake. Website Gamatsu reported that survival horror game Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse will launch on PS4 and PS5 worldwide on March 9th. First-person survival horror game Bendy and the Dark Revival will come to PlayStation sometime after its launch on PC on November the 15th. Adventure game Return to Monkey Island will release on PS5 on November 8th. The side-scrolling action-adventure game Ruby, RWBY Aerofill, will launch for PS4 and PS5 on November the 15th. Little Witch No Beta will come to PS4 in the West sometime next spring. First-person action RPG Atomic Heart will launch for PS4 and PS5 on February 21st.
It's come out every month the last year.
Every game is coming out in February.
Oh my god.
Dude, this game looks sick though. It looks dope. It looks so good. I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Also, action-adventure game Colossal Cave will come to PS5 sometime this fall. They better hurry up.
It's about your mother.
Another action-adventure game called Figment 2 Creed Valley will launch for, that's a bad Assassin's Creed game, will launch for PS4 and PS5 sometime in February. Turn-based strategy RPG Kaiju Wars will launch for PS4 and PS5 on November the 10th. Endling Extinction is now available on PS5 and is a free upgrade for owners of the game on PS4. Turn-based brutal sports game Blood Bowl 3 will launch for PS4 and PS5 on February 23rd, just along with everything else. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is getting a native PlayStation 5 version on November the 15th. You might be thinking, wow, that's pretty cool, but guess what? It includes literally 0 upgrades from the PS4 version.
Oh.
And it's not even a free upgrade either. So please don't make the mistake of buying it expecting something to be different. I think this is actually pretty shitty. Like, they have the PS4 version. The PS5 is the exact same game. It just doesn't play using backwards compatibility. You can't. It's not a free upgrade, so you potentially could. Somebody could potentially buy the PS5 version, basically buy the game twice for no good reason. Also, 1995 released 2D side-scrolling shooter Elevator Action Returns S Tribute is coming to PS4 on December the 1st. Likewise, 1996 released arcade puzzle game Cleopatra S Tribute launches for PS4 on November the 24th. Escape Academy DLC Escape from Anti-Escape Island launches November 10th on PS4 and PS5. God. And finally, Travis, Gamatsu reported that publisher Team 17 announced a partnership with developer Absolutely Games to publish a new historical strategy title for consoles and PC, with a closed alpha test planned for 2023 for the unannounced game. And that is all for the news this week. I'll turn it over to Travis now for this week's new games.
Starting in November 1st, November Rain, we have Missile Command Recharged Tractor Journey, a journey through Kenny Chesney's albums. On November the 2nd, we have Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom, Hat Up, Shatter Remastered Deluxe. On the 3rd, we have Delivery Driver, The Simulation. Great. Die by the Blade, Freddy Fish 3, The Case of the Stolen Conch Shell. Why is it so funny to you?
I don't know. Oh, I don't read that. I try not to read these. That's great.
Ghost Song, Horse Tales, Emerald Valley, Putt Putt Saves the Zoo, Putt Putt Travels Through Time. I assume these are miniature golf games, but
what is going on? Yeah, I'm sure.
Spy Fox and Dry Cereal.
What are these fucking games?
The Chant, the Entropy Center, WRC Generations. It is the last WRC game.
It is.
Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition. That's all the Trump voters. November the 4th, Brats Flaunt Your Fashion. So I don't know. I know WRC would be the only game on this list I'd be interested in, but I'm not sure what the best or biggest game would be.
Let me try to help you out here. This is a quite uninspiring week of releases. First and foremost, but Shatter Remastered is a brick breaking game. It's been remastered, obviously. Die by the Blade is a fighting game. Is a sword fighting game. Like, okay, picture a fighting game, and instead of punches and kicks, it's swords. So like Ghost of Tsushima meets Street Fighter, where it's all one hit kills. So you're deflecting and blocking most of the time. It takes one hit to win the round or win the fight.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Ghost Song is a very cool looking hardcore like Metroidvania side-scrolling game. It looks really cool, but I think it's kind of hard, so not for me. The Chant is a survival horror game that's getting pretty mediocre reviews. The Entropy Center looks actually really cool. It's a first-person puzzle game that has something to do with time travel, and it kind of reminds me of a game back in the day called Singularity. Looks interesting. And then, like Travis said, WRC Generations, the last WRC game. So enjoy that while you still can. And that's all for the new games this week. We will begin to wrap the show up here like we always do by discussing what we have been playing and anything that we're looking forward to. So what's on your mind?
I think the only thing I played was Modern Warfare. I did something on Hitman, but I don't remember what it was. Couldn't tell you.
Did you get another 5-star or something?
I think I started a mission and I was just scouting it out to see how to best approach it. But I don't remember what I did exactly. Speaking of Hitman, there's a 3-hour closed beta of the freelance mode on YouTube if you look it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can watch this guy that does all these Hitman videos. He got access to it and they let him put it up. So pretty interesting. It looks awesome, as we said last week. But anyway.
Yeah, it does.
Modern Warfare 2. So I'm trying to get the platinum. Cousin John blessed us with the glitch last Friday or Saturday, and we got a trophy on a co-op. Like, don't set the alarms off or whatever. And like me and John completely botched the mission. Like I ran over a guy with a car. Like everything you could do wrong, and I blew myself up, and it gave me the trophy. I don't know why. So I'll take it. and I'm starting working through the campaign. So
Hmm.
the last campaign I did, last mission I did was there are these. I went underground into these tunnels,
Mm.
and the lady that was offshore got kidnapped by some boats, and then the mission ended. And we went to the next part. So I
Oh,
don't,
yeah, okay, yeah,
I don't even know how far I am in the game. I haven't even looked. But
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
whenever I, when I
Are you playing on veteran or normal?
yeah, I'm on veteran. I'm not gonna play that thing twice. So what I do is like, I watch the cutscene. It pops up, tells me the mission. I go look at the trophy list, see if the mission has a trophy.
Hmm.
If it doesn't, I just play it. Try not to die like normal. But if it does, I read what it is, and then I just
Hmm.
try to do that. That's all I do. And then once I get it and the trophy pops, I'll just go back and just play the mission like normal.
Oh, that's
So,
actually a good idea. Yeah.
because I'm just like, I don't even care. Like it's like get to this point without alerting the guards or something like that. Oh, remember that one I was telling you about that was like shoot 3 people underwater? I just swam
Yeah.
up, 3 people were in a row, bang, 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 killed them. They fall over, pop the trophy. I immediately get smoked. Cool. Reload.
Perfect.
Go back
Yeah.
in, don't even care. So, like, there was another one like that too. I forget what I had to do, but, it was like do a certain thing. I just went and did it and it came back. But, I haven't really hated the missions so far. They are like if you're not it's like any Call of Duty mission. Like, if you're not paying attention, it can be unforgiving.
Mm.
You have to pay attention to what you're doing. Like, if you're getting shot at and you're being a dumbass not taking cover, you're gonna die in, like, 2 shots. Like, you have to fucking take cover. It's not Uncharted where you can, like, you know, actually take some damage.
Right.
You gotta kinda pay attention to what you're doing, which I forgot at first. It's been a while since I played one. I've enjoyed the single player so far. Multiplayer's been fun. Nothing that I didn't expect there. The gun we were using, the R87 or whatever it is a lot of fun. I like the
The marksman rifle thing.
yeah, and I enjoy the whatever the P90's called now. I enjoy that a lot,
Mm.
actually. My favorite map is the one that's, like, all the buildings are blown out and there's sand everywhere, and, like,
Okay.
you can kind of, like, maneuver and play the outskirts or the middle. I really enjoy that map. We played the map with all the trucks on the border crossing map,
Oh,
and,
yeah, yeah,
I could see why everybody hates it, but I actually played really well on the map, so,
yeah. I didn't hate it, but
yeah.
I get it.
I could see where you could die 30 times and never see anybody.
Oh, yeah.
If you just like, I just picked a section and just stayed there. Basically just patrolled my section, that's all I did. I didn't try to go find people, I just kinda hung out, like, in a third of the map, like, a little bit away from the spawn and just kinda played around with there and let the spawn switch, cool, I just slide back a little bit. That's all I did. I didn't try to make it any harder than it needed to be, but I think it's a good game. I had fun with it. I look forward to playing it, this weekend.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is a very good game as a total package. The campaign, I finished it this week. I stayed up late one night and finished it last night actually, and I enjoyed it. I think it tails off a little bit in like the last like third, well, maybe like the last quarter. I will tell you, if you're playing on veteran the whole way through, not really the mission before last will drive you insane. I find it took me like an hour. I finally got it, but oh, it's pissing me off. But I I think it's good overall. The campaign, I enjoy the multiplayer more. I have not played any multiplayer since I played last weekend, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing some multiplayer this weekend. Need to get it in. I do got to clean up the trophies for the platinum. I have 8 trophies left. I can do all of them on recruit through the mission select, so I'll go back and do that. Shouldn't be anything too crazy, but that'll be the first. That might be the first Call of Duty game that I've ever platinumed
Yeah.
or 100% it or whatever you want to call it. So it's good. I guess that says a lot because I mean I enjoyed enough to do all that, but I think the multiplayer is still the highlight of the game. But I will say the campaign is very cinematic in my opinion
It
in
is.
terms of the quality of it, how it's shot. It's shot like a film, especially the cutscenes and everything, and even some of what I'll call like the rolling cutscenes, which is the action within the game that is
Mm,
obviously motion captured and all that. So yeah, it's good. The other thing I played before that was I finished PGA Tour 2K23 for my review for GamingNexus.com. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I've been a very mostly tough reviewer to this point. My 3 games that I've reviewed, 2 sevens and an 8.5. So, it is what it is. It's a perfectly fine game. Like I told you, you can read my entire thoughts in the review, I guess, but it just doesn't do enough, in my opinion, that's different. I hadn't played a golf sim in so long, but I didn't feel like it felt to me like very much the same game that I played a decade ago. And maybe that's a problem with sports games in general. You could definitely make that argument, but I think that they could do better. I mean, there's definitely better examples of people trying to do things that are different to differentiate from year to year. And they even had 2 years between this one and the last one, and I don't know. So it's fine. If you're a fan of golf, it'll be fine for you. It'll scratch an itch for sure. Anyway, so I'm done with that. Done with the Modern Warfare 2 story. We have God of War Ragnarok coming on Wednesday. Very, very excited for that. Obviously, want to play more Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. And then I'm getting ready to start my next game for review, which by the time this comes out, I'll be able to say what that is. It is, so I'll go ahead and say it. I'm reviewing, no, it's very obscure. I'm reviewing a Police Simulator Patrol Officers on PS5.
Blockbuster. The Blockbuster. Triple A.
It is a blockbuster. It is a blockbuster. You and I had talked about this game a little bit before, and then I had seen it. I've seen trailers for it. At one point, I had it on my wish list on PlayStation, and then I don't know. I something else came up on my YouTube feed or something, and I watched another. Actually Jeff Favignano, the guy who you and I used to watch role play on GTA on PC as a police officer, as Officer Favignano, did a video on it. And so I watched some of that, and I was like, okay, this is a little different than I thought. There's a little more to this. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I think I'm gonna do this. So I'm excited to dive into that and check that out, see what that's all about. I cannot give any review impressions or any impressions of the game until it's out. It comes out on November the 10th on PS5 and PS4. So I can't give you any thoughts. I won't be able to give you any thoughts next week either. Well, yeah, I will. Yeah, I will, because it's Friday's the 11th. So anyway, I'm going to dive into that this week and see what that's about. But yeah, that's it for Travis. It's it for me. It's it for our show here, our nice little show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe on your podcast service or the YouTube to get a new episode delivered to you every Monday on your feed. Also, if you could leave us a like, a comment, a rating, stars, hearts, or a written review even, that would be very much appreciated. Very helpful. We would also love it if you could share us by word of mouth with a friend or a loved one who you think might enjoy this very show. Very much appreciate that as well. Don't forget to also find us on social media. Twitter at the DualSense Pod, TikTok at the DualSense Podcast. Believe it or not, look at us. Facebook, Instagram. Our blog is the DualSensePodcast.wordpress.com. Please find us, hit us up. Let's talk some PlayStation. And yeah, we'll see how God of War Ragnarok is next week. And we'll get out of here now. You guys take care. Have a great week. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.